My friends, there comes a time when silence is no longer an option, when truth demands a voice louder than the lies, and when the strength of a nation depends on the courage of its people to stand up and face the storm. Today, we are not here to whisper about division. We are here to confront it head on. We are not here to bow down to misinformation. We are here to expose it, because what is at stake is bigger than one person, one party, or one ideology. It is the very soul of our democracy, the future of our children, and the integrity of the truth itself. This is not just another speech. This is a call to every listener, a call to rise above the noise, to challenge the narratives that have been used to manipulate and divide, and to reclaim the dignity of your own voice. You have more power than you've been led to believe. You have more influence than those who profit off your confusion want you to realize. And when you understand that, when you choose clarity over chaos, when you choose unity over division, there is nothing that can stop you. Stay with me, because the words you are about to hear are not meant to entertain. They are meant to awaken. They are meant to remind you that in the face of lies, truth still stands tall, and in the face of manipulation, courage still has the last word. This is your moment, and together, it's time to rise above the noise and take it back. The danger of misinformation and division has never been more urgent to confront than it is today. In every corner of society, people are bombarded with half-truths, twisted facts, and narratives designed not to unite, but to divide. When misinformation becomes the loudest voice in the room, it manipulates fear, fuels anger, and convinces ordinary citizens to believe that their neighbors are enemies instead of allies. It is a weapon that does not need bombs or bullets, because it destroys trust, erodes respect, and leaves communities fractured. When individuals like Charlie Kirk step forward to spread misleading ideas, they are not just offering opinions, they are planting seeds of confusion in the minds of those who want to believe they are standing up for their country. And when that confusion grows, it blinds people to the truth and makes them susceptible to manipulation by those who care more about power than people. The challenge for any democracy is not just whether citizens have the right to speak freely, but whether citizens are wise enough to discern truth from falsehood. Freedom is meaningless without responsibility, and responsibility begins with questioning the narratives that seek to pit one side against another. Trump supporters, like any other group of people, deserve honesty, they deserve clarity. But when leaders and influencers twist the truth for their own agenda, it robs their audience of the dignity of making informed choices. It replaces empowerment with dependency, where loyalty is no longer given to values or principles, but to individuals who thrive on division. This is not patriotism. This is manipulation disguised as conviction. Division is not born naturally in the hearts of people. Division is manufactured. It is fed through speeches that exaggerate, through social media posts designed to inflame, and through slogans that reduce complex realities into shallow sound bites. When communities are divided, progress stalls. When families are divided, love weakens. And when a nation is divided, enemies of freedom cheer, because they know that a country fighting itself cannot stand strong against outside threats. Those who promote division know this well, and they capitalize on it because a divided people are easier to control, easier to manipulate, and easier to silence when real accountability. That is why challenge is needed. That is why challenging misinformation just about proving someone wrong on facts. It is about protecting the spirit of unity. It is about reminding people that truth is not a partisan idea. It is a universal necessity. Without truth, we cannot trust each other, we cannot build together, and we cannot dream together. Without unity, the sacrifices of those who came before us lose meaning, because their vision was for a nation that could rise above differences and find strength in diversity. The targeted audience must understand that when misinformation goes unchecked, the very foundation of democracy shakes, and the dream of progress becomes hard to achieve. By exposing falsehoods and rejecting division, we reclaim not just the truth, but also the possibility of a future that belongs to everyone, not just a chosen few. Defending democratic values and ensuring accountability is not simply a matter of politics. It is a matter of survival for any nation that claims to stand on principles of freedom and justice. A democracy is only as strong as the truth that sustains it. And when leaders or influencers abandon that truth in exchange for power, they weaken the very system they claim to protect. The responsibility of leadership is not to manipulate followers, but to elevate them, to challenge them, and to remind them of their role as citizens who hold the future in their hands. When people like Charlie Kirk or others with large platforms spread narratives that distort reality, they undermine not just their opponents, but the entire fabric of civic trust. And when Trump supporters or any community invest their faith in those voices, they unknowingly risk surrendering their agency to individuals who see them as tools rather than partners in building a better society. Accountability is not a punishment, it is a safeguard. It ensures that those who speak with authority are not allowed to misuse it for selfish ends. A nation that fails to demand accountability from its leaders will eventually find itself led not by visionaries, but by opportunists who thrive on chaos and confusion. True defenders of democracy understand that loyalty should never be given to one person, one party, or one ideology alone. Loyalty belongs to the principles of fairness, equality, liberty, and justice. And when anyone, no matter their influence or popularity, violates those principles, it is the duty of citizens to hold them to account. Otherwise, democracy becomes hollow, a stage where empty slogans are shouted while the real work of governance, truth-telling, problem-solving, and uniting people gets abandoned. Defending democratic values also means resisting the temptation of easy lies. Lies can be comforting because they give simple answers to complex questions. They create villains to blame and heroes to worship. But the cost of those lies is enormous. They erode the ability of people to think critically, to engage in honest debate, and to solve problems collectively. When democratic values are sacrificed at the altar of blind loyalty, the nation begins to fracture. The rule of law weakens, the media becomes distrusted, and institutions, once respected, are cast aside as enemies. That road does not lead to strength, it leads to decline. And those who cheer while standing on that road forget that once democracy falls, it is not easily rebuilt. For the targeted audience, the lesson is clear: accountability and defense of democratic values are not optional. They are essential. When someone in power manipulates facts or fosters division, it is not enough to disagree quietly. Citizens must demand better. Defending democracy means speaking out. It means voting with integrity. It means refusing to be a pawn in someone else's game of power. It means remembering that America's promise has always been bigger than any single politician, any single influencer, or any single party. Democracy is built to serve everyone, not just those who shout the loudest or demand the most attention. By standing firm on the side of truth, fairness, and accountability, the people can restore the balance, resist manipulation, and ensure that the values passed down through generations remain unbroken. This is not about left or right. It is about right and wrong, and the future depends on the choice to defend what is right with courage and conviction. Truth may be challenged, twisted, or buried under noise, but it never dies, and today, it rises stronger than the lies that tried to silence it.